I just wanted to make another quick video for you guys to explain the last pronoun that you have to learn. So this is the pronoun en. And just for reference, so if we look at the cheat sheet that you have access to on Canvas, you're going to see that you have me tenu vu, l'allez, lui and l'air that we did last week, I from Monday, and en. So this is the very last object pronoun that you have to worry about learning. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So the pronoun en, it's probably the trickiest one because it can replace a lot of different things. So the first thing that can be replaced with the pronoun en is de plus a noun. So basically, these are partitive articles. So now, if you remember from a few weeks ago when you did partitives and you had all of those partitive phrases, all of those are going to come back into play right now. So the pronoun en is going to replace partitive articles. So anytime you're going to say some. So some pizza, the example here, tu veux du yaourt? Do you want some yogurt? Would you like some yogurt? Non merci, je n'en veux pas. I don't want any. So instead of saying no, I don't want any yogurt, you can just say I don't want any. So it's going to replace partitive articles. It stands in for the preposition de and its objects. So, ils n'ont pas de villes surpeuplées. They don't have any overpopulated cities. Ils n'en ont pas. They don't have any. So it can replace a partitive article and its object. So once again, partitive articles. Then here, on can also replace nouns that follow un, une numbers or expressions of quantity. So in the past, some of you have asked, okay, so we know what to do with the direct object, with the l'allez. What do we do with un, une, and des? This is your answer. So en can replace un, une, des, du, de la, any of those things, numbers or expressions of quantity. So any of those partitive expressions that we talked about a few weeks ago are going to come into play here with the pronoun en. It's kind of difficult for me to explain without just showing you how to do it. And I think the cheat sheet makes it seem easier than probably this presentation. So at the end of this presentation, I'm going to pull up that cheat sheet and show you how to use that. Okay, so in a negative sentence, you do not retain numbers. So this can be a little bit confusing. We're going to kind of breeze over this for now because it's not something that's super, super, super necessary that you know. I don't even think I give you any negative sentences, so we're just going to kind of skip over that. It's obviously here for you to see if you need to see it. I want to jump right to the examples because I feel like the literature behind learning what the pronoun en is makes it more confusing than it actually is. So here's what we need to know. If you look at your cheat sheet, on the second page of the cheat sheet, you have what replaces what. So we have me tenu vu, okay, pretty easy. L'allez, pretty easy. Lui and there, pretty easy. I, okay, so your places, we talked about Monday. And then you have this one, the pronoun en. This is by far the most complicated one because you have multiple things you need to think about. In this chart, I have broken it down for you basically into 5 categories. So you've got partitive articles, un, or du, de, la, des, and the apostrophe. If you see a partitive article like some, you're going to use that. Expressions of quantity. So any of those partitive expressions that you had a few weeks ago when you had beaucoup, tant, un peu de, une boîte de, any of those are going to fall into this category. Numbers, so if I have 3 dogs, that would be a number. De plus a location, and then verbal expressions with de. And if you notice, there's a little box here. If you see these 2 little stars right here, this box. So when you use a number, the number or the expression of quantity is going to stay in the sentence unless it is negative. Now, there are examples here. A number, if I say j'ai 3 chiens, I have 3 dogs. When I replace this, find it, change it, move it, I'm going to say j'en ai 3. The number stays out. Okay, so you're not replacing the number, you're just replacing the object. The reason is because If you just said I have, j'en ai would be I have. I have them. They'd be like, what? So you want to say I have 3 of them. So j'en ai 3. That's how you say I have 3 of them. Okay. So also with an expression of quantity, it's also going to stay out. So j'ai assez de vos jeux. J'en ai assez. So I know this is probably a little bit confusing, clear as mud. I think once we do some examples, you will kind of see how it works. And keep in mind that on these examples, you're only finding the en. So you're only finding something that is a quantity, a number. So if I look at the first one, je veux de la pizza, I'm going to go, okay, I want some pizza. That is my expression of quantity, okay? So I found it. I'm going to change that to en, and I'm going to use the same rules I used before. So find it, change it, move it. So I'm going to change that to en. Then I'm going to put it before my verb. So j'en veux. I want some. That's it. Okay? So looking at the second one, j'ai beaucoup de choses. J'ai beaucoup de choses. Okay? This is my expression of quantity. I have a lot of things. Okay? So I'm going to find it. I've done that. I'm going to change it to en, and then I'm going to move it. It goes before my verb. So j'en ai. And then because I have an expression of quantity, my beaucoup, that is going to stay in my sentence to say I have a lot of them. If you have a number, a specific number, or an expression of quantity, it stays in your sentence. Okay? So je veux du café. I have found it. I'm going to change that to en. I move it before my verb. So tu en veux. And some people would probably say, would you not do the t'en veux here? Yes and no. So in spoken French, they definitely would do it. Grammatically, though, it's not going to happen because you pronounce the U and the E. Tu en. And because you pronounce both of those sounds, you will not do a contraction. So, but really, I mean, French people are going to do that because that's just how they do. Il a 3 amis. So you're looking for your quantity, 3 friends. So I have found it. I'm going to change that to en. And I'm going to put il en a. And because I have a number, a specific number, it's going to say out. Il en a 3. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. It's definitely something we're going to be practicing. This one is, like I said, by far probably the hardest. I would encourage you to not think too hard about it. I would encourage you to look at the sentence and look for quantities. So some, which are your partitive articles, any of the partitive expressions like beaucoup de, and numbers. Anytime you see those, you're going to replace them with en. So today's assignment is simply to watch this video and kind of mentally go through these examples. If you need extra help, jump on the Zoom either today or tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to start with some supersites over en. I just didn't want to throw the supersites at you right away without giving you a chance to process this stuff. So I hope this makes it a little bit easier. I definitely miss seeing you guys in class. It's just not the same. So I hope you have a good afternoon.